Hello. In the midst of our global climate crisis, human action is required to repair the damage done to our environment. Daily, humans are traveling using cars, trucks, buses, bicycles, light rail, trains, ferries, planes, and more. The shift to electric vehicles is a well-known change that many populations are attempting to phase out the use of fossil fuels. Electrification of transportation is proven to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But this can't be the sole savior of this aspect of climate action in transportation. To begin this assignment in sustainable transportation techniques in reducing greenhouse gas emissions, I went to the United Nations Sustainability Goals website and chose to analyze goal number 13, which is take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Nations under the Paris Agreement are drafting long-term strategies to reduce their carbon footprint. I've always been interested in Japan's urban development patterns, so I looked into their plan. As I had hoped, their plan illustrates a few different techniques to reduce greenhouse gas emissions in transportation that correspond to electrification. I'll now discuss a few of those. Here's a quote from the government of Japan in their recent October 2021 long-term strategy. This is what they say before they list out their direct actions to conquer this lofty goal under the Paris Agreement. The construction of transportation, logistics, and infrastructure systems that are compatible with the electrification of automobiles. I won't discuss all of them, but here is the first one. And before I discuss the first one, here is a image of all of the emissions in transportation in Japan, showing the percentage of the contribution. You can see that freight transportation and passenger transportation are the highest. The first direct action the government of Japan lists to realize their vision of aligning with the Paris Agreement is the promotion of transportation and logistics services using electrified vehicles. This action assumes that these electrified vehicles are already in place and they're already supplied. So we're looking more into the 2020s and 2030s. In this section, the technique called green slow mobility is explained. The name speaks for itself, really. Green mobility combines transportation with new technology that will reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and slow in the term implies that this transportation technology is not meant to be implemented at a larger scale than the local community. At least in this example it is. So, green slow mobility in Japan starts with the implementation of these cute little cart vehicles that don't reach speeds faster than 20 kilometers per hour, or about 13 miles per hour. The population in Japan, as stated by the government of Japan in their report, is gradually aging, which increases the need for older folks to get around. And not only older folks can find navigation around these villages difficult, but also tourists. So tourists, older populations can benefit from slow green mobility implementation. So these carts are perfect for increasing equity in mobility. I've linked a video down below exhibiting the demonstration in Japan of green slow mobility back in 2019, showing an example of these carts traversing tough terrain in villages with steep, windy, and narrow streets. The second direct action listed in this long-term strategy is to promote the promotion of social implementation of urban and road infrastructure in response to the electrification of automobiles. So just like promoting new forms of transportation services like green slow mobility to bolster the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, managing the available social capital to utilize new technologies to their fullest potential can also be critical to achieving this long-term vision. And one form of social capital relevant to this direct action is participation. So if, for example, a village in Japan has 1 or 2 charging stations, not too many, they're still relatively unknown to the public, guiding folks through specific wayfinding for electric vehicles might be useful to bolster higher use of these alternative methods of transportation. As you can see on the screen, there are a few different images of electric vehicle wayfinding. I've linked also on the screen to the Washington State Department of Transportation, their electric vehicle wayfinding signs. These images are taken from there, and on there they show the possibilities of electric vehicle wayfinding, along with all the dimension standards, different regulatory signs from the Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices. And I really chose these images because it really shows you the different possibilities that electric vehicle wayfinding can have and its effectiveness. And as you can see, we can get different scales. We can get them for cars. These can also work for bicycles and pedestrians. So we're hitting a bunch of different modes. And slightly more permanent than traditional tactical urbanism techniques, the government of Japan also includes the potential for electric vehicle charging stations to be set up in communities as social experiments to see how effective they really are, and also supporting research and development efforts of electric vehicle transit is additionally included in this direct action as a promotional technique to discover the feasibility of these systems being set in place. So, the 6th named direct action in this long-term strategy from the government of Japan lists to realize how they align with the Paris Agreement is the promotion of green logistics. So I was not familiar with this term of green logistics, so I decided to break it down. Logistics deals with the detailed operation and organization of a complex operation such as a distribution warehouse, and the application of the term green into logistics is optimizing operations to increase efficiency and save on resources. Specifically, the government of Japan, through the promotion of green logistics, aims to improve truck loading efficiency and optimize transportation routes. To lower the carbon footprint of logistics facilities, the government of Japan is actively seeking the practical application of drone logistics and modal shift. Drone logistics is what it sounds like. In the delivery process of these logistic facilities, drones are sent to deliver packages. And you can really think about the fuel and electricity that you're saving when you order from a drone. And modal shift is fairly straightforward as well. You're changing modes during the delivery process, and it's not a new concept, and you can really think about how it would reduce greenhouse gas emissions through careful choice of these modal changes in the shipping process. And that's all I have. Thank you for listening. Here are my sources. Thank you.